Okay, one of the very important areas where I like to use fillers is in the tear trough area. So that would be the lower eyelid going through the tear trough, the nasojugal groove, so it's right down here. This area gets very deficient. Additionally, leading up into the cheek and then the lower eyelid. So this whole zone that you would see here is an area that can get flattened. It can cause us to start to see the bags underneath our eyes. So the use of a filler in this area can be extremely helpful and very, very quick. Because it's around the eye, and we always want to be very safe around the eye, instead of using needles to inject the filler there, I will be using a cannula. So we basically make one needle stick, and with that I will use a blunt cannula. In doing that, I will be protecting the eye, and as well will be able to reduce any kind of bruising we have in that area because we're not putting all those needle sticks in it. So the tear trough area, a great area for filler. Let's go ahead and show that procedure. So in the tear trough, we love to use a cannula. We start with one needle stick, and then we actually replace that needle stick. You can take this with the cannula, and we basically can then just do the entire injection bluntly through this area. So I will take the needle all the way up to the most medial aspect, and in that we start to place the filler very gently and very deeply. This is an area that is done poorly often because if the product is put too superficial, then you'll start to see the product through the skin. We call that the Tyndall effect, and we don't want to see that. So we really want to just fill the area out by keeping the filler on the bone and slowly adding volume in that area until we get a nice, softer look. It almost hides the bags underneath the lower eyelid as we add filler to it. Does this hurt much at all?
No.
It's weird because in the eye, you would think that this could be a very tender area for adding injectables. Do you think this is easier than the lips? About the same?
Actually, it's probably easier.
Yeah, easier than the lips, right. You would think it would be worse than the lips, but it's actually at least as easy and maybe a little bit easier. So already you see, I put one half of the syringe in and start seeing some of the fullness. In the front. So by doing the tear trough, we basically shortened the lid to cheek junction, filled out the cheek here, blending it into the tear trough lower eyelid. So look upward, and you can see there's a hollowness on this side where you see the pocket of her fat pocket around her eye and a hollowness in the tear trough versus this side where it's completely full. And now look forward, and you see that very pretty architecture to the cheek leading into the tear trough for full correction. Okay, we just completed performing cheek tear trough injections with Restylane and Restylane Define, which is one of our fillers that we use in the face. We've done both sides. It probably took less than 5 minutes to do both sides, one syringe per side, with a very nice improvement in adding fullness in this lower eyelid. It gives a very rested, rejuvenated look and really allows the eyes to pop and look beautiful.